up. We didn't even introduce anyone. We start with a win out of a loss. Jalen Hurts, first ever player with 300 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Let's dig deeper into the numbers. Hurts in the Super Bowl ranks among QBs to lose, which seems kind of mean, but it's a complimentary graphic. Team points, 35, that's the best. 4 touchdowns is the best. Yards, third best. Completion percentage, 5th. So, Brew, are you ready to say he's officially a top 5 quarterback?
Look, I think of everyone on this panel, I was the most in Jalen Hurts' corner going into the Super Bowl.
That's true.
All right? But I'm not yet ready, Nick, to
say top 5?
Because here's the thing, officially.
Yeah.
Officially is you're there every year. You are in the top 5 every year, no matter what. These are the official guys to me. Mahomes, obviously, officially number 1.
Official.
And I got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow in the top, 5, officially.
Okay. Officially.
After that, it's going to change year to year. You could argue that Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, this year, Jalen Hurts, obviously, that they're in there. But will those 3 necessarily be in there next year? Could be Justin Herbert, could be Lamar Jackson.
Right.
So, no, Nick, I just need to see more than 1 year. I'm with you going into next year, and I said this yesterday. Going into next year, if they do QB rankings, he'll be in the top 5.
But would he be in yours? If you right now, I mean, you don't have to give him right now, but
I would put him, but again, it's not permanent. I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar or somebody moves ahead of him during the course of next season. Okay. I would be surprised if it's not, if in the top 4, obviously Mahomes will be there, but Josh Allen and Burrow will be, I expect them to be there too.
They can't
and the rest can, those 3 are official.
Well, I mean,
you've seen enough from Hurts. I mean,
no,
great year and one great game.
You're saying you need more than one great year, and I'm not sure if you've watched in the regular season Josh Allen's career, but there's one.
He was in the MVP conversation. He literally got a vote.
Oh, you're talking this year? Okay, I don't. Listen.
He was great this year.
Oh, he was great this year. Okay.
He wasn't MVP. He wasn't Mahomes.
I agree with you that we need larger samples with quarterbacks who've been in the league a long time. So like with Geno was excellent for the majority of this year, tailed off a bit at the end. But because we have a large sample of him not being that, now maybe it was because of lack of opportunity.
But that's true.
Then being more skeptical of it's fine. Burrow has really only played 2 years. I was ready to call him a top 5 quarterback after his second year, which was his only full year, because it's like, okay, he doesn't have a long history of it, but what we've seen of him has been excellent. Yeah. Jalen's been a starter for 2 years. One of the years he was excellent, and I was a Jalen Hurts skeptic. There's no denying it. I'm not running from it. I was very curious about how he would fare in the postseason, how he would fare in this moment. And he rose to the occasion. And I don't give him credit for the fumble, but I do give him credit for a guy who, and I know you guys got mad when I would mention this stuff, played poorly in postseason games in college, and then played poorly in the postseason last year, then gets to the Super Bowl, has what could be a horrible moment, an unforced fumble. It's not like someone even jarred it loose. To then rally and not have kind of the ghosts of playoff games past come and get you, I thought was really impressive. So I got a little ahead of myself yesterday when I gave you the quarterback rankings and had Jalen number 2. I had Mahomes 1, 2, 3, so it wasn't it was more about a Mahomes graphic. But can I just show you? I got a pyramid.
Official? Oh, a pyramid.
I've got a quarterback pyramid. I've got a quarterback pyramid if you'd like to see it. Mahomes at the top. Burrow and the Prince is top 3.
Caleb's a nice young man, but this is a little...
And Justin Herbert. And then Allen, Lamar, Dak, and Rodgers. That's right now, to me, the 10 best quarterbacks alive.
How is Herbert better than Josh Allen?
I just watch him, and I think he's better. And I also... Here's the other part of it that I will mention. When it comes to Trevor, Jalen, and Justin Herbert, I do give a little curve to guys that are younger because I think they are more likely to improve when we're projecting for next year. So Patrick is 27. Mm-hmm. Burrow, Lamar, and Josh Allen are all 26. Jalen and Justin are 24, and of course the Prince is 23. And then Caleb's 21. I mean, the guy is skyrocketing. But so I think Herbert's better than Josh Allen. I think he's more reliable than Josh Allen. But let's not argue about Josh Allen. To me, Jalen Hurts has done enough, especially at that age with a limited sample size, to show you he should be considered a top 5 quarterback. And going into the year, Wilds, I said on the very popular What's Right podcast, I thought he was the 25th best quarterback in football. I didn't believe in him. But, I mean, I got to give the guy credit for what he's accomplished.
I agree. So,
top 5 officially.
Yeah, I was going to take out my gavel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you haven't used the gavel in quite some time.
Officially top 5. I don't think that's debatable. Here's the thing.
It is debatable.
He went all the way, and of all the quarterbacks to lose, he scored the most points.
He had one. Look, again, I think
he's full year.
Next year going in, he would be top 5. I got to see more.
But did you feel that way about Burrow going into this year? Was Burrow not officially top 5?
Because he's thrown it more consistently, and Burrow didn't have the supporting cast. That's what you were thinking that Eagles got to the Super Bowl on. The great receivers, the great offensive line, the great defense. And Burrow had none of that other than the receivers.
Yeah, the great receivers.
But he had a horrible offensive line, and the defense was pretty good.
Just quick hypothetical. If Jalen Hurts would have won the Super Bowl, where would you have put him? If the ball bounced
honestly, I think I may have felt the same way.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want the guy to do then?
I want him to do it a little more consistently. That's all.
Wow, that's a shame, Brew. You could have been the Hurts guy.
You jump on and off. You're on Mac now. You're off Mac.
I'm always on Mac.
I don't know. You didn't sound like it in the opener.
It's unconditional love, but I'm not going to be happy with everything you do. That's tough love.
I'm tough love on Jalen.
I'm also tough.
I want to keep him working.
Other news out of Philly. Colts have not rehired Jeff Saturday.
Well, that was good.
They are hiring Eagles OC Shane Steichen. Eagles also lost their defensive coordinator, but I think that has a little bit less to do with Jalen Hurts' production next year. So, Nick, do you think Jalen takes a step back next year? No OC, or new OC at least.
I don't, for 2 reasons, because I think this is different. We obviously saw Josh Allen lose Brian Daboll, and it did seem to hurt him.
Yeah.
But that is one of the downsides of having a defensive coach, is that if your offense is awesome, your offensive coordinator gets picked away, and now are you going to have it? And I know Dorsey wasn't running a new system, but it's not as smooth. Because Nick Sirianni's there, and I know he's not calling plays, but he is an offensive-minded coach, they are going to run a very similar system, and because the guy taking over for him, Brian Johnson, has been his quarterback coach for as long as Shane Steichen has been his offensive coordinator, for as long as Nick Sirianni's been there. So I don't think this is good news for Jalen, but the fact of the matter is, it is inevitable. If you are a great quarterback with a great offense, you are going to lose your offensive coordinator, unless, of course, he's Eric Bieniemy, and no one will hire him for reasons that are so patently obvious we don't even discuss it anymore. I think the Eagles I don't think this is a huge deal for them. I think it's a far bigger deal if you have a defensive-minded head coach.
Well, first, let me say this about Josh. Touchdowns, interceptions were virtually the same. Passer rating was higher this year, and I think yards per game were even higher.
It seemed like he missed Daboll to me, but that's fine.
Dable's really good, but I don't think look, Steichen was the guy when he took over play calling like in the middle of last year. That's when Jalen started to surge, obviously, and looked like he was a really good quarterback. But I'm with Nick. I think first of all, I think great quarterbacks are fine. They may go a little down or a little up, depending on the coordinator, but he's going to be good no matter what. And I think all the intangibles we always talk about, the work ethic, the drive, the ambition, that leads me to think he'll be fine.
You think Tom Brady missed Bruce Arians?
That's true, but he's also 45 years old.
But I didn't think that was an age thing. I thought like the offense looked very different once Bruce left and Byron left, which is still there. And I
think
it's the
everybody
that
missed
you're arguing.
No, that's a good point.
But I feel like we're just downplaying it.
Well, hold on. If you think he's going to suffer with Steichen not there, how did you just pull out the gavel?
I'm just taking a step back.
A step back is out of the top 5.
No, not to me. He's at 3.
Here's the reason, Wilds, I do think that, and now it is not, each of these situations is different on its own because sometimes the offensive-minded head coach is also the play caller. That is not the case in Philadelphia. Sirianni was not calling plays, Shane Steichen was. And so I do think there will be a bit of a learning curve there. However, because they are not hiring from the outside, right? Sure. Because it is someone he has been with, because it is someone that Sirianni's been with, and because I would imagine they have been preparing for this. For the midway point of the season, we started hearing the moment Jalen's name was brought up as an MVP candidate, Shane Steichen's name started getting brought up as a potential next head coach in this league. So I think they probably have a plan there. Also, I do not know, I know it's on the topic, I'll be very quick here. I do not know how the Cardinals can hire Jonathan Gannon to be their head coach after that Super Bowl. I flatly don't.
Yeah.
I flatly don't know how, if you're already taking a risk in hiring a defensive-minded coach in a league that's going offense, you're going to try to marry him to your quarterback that you had $250 million into, so you're doing it because it's one thing to hire DeMeco Ryans.
Right.
It's another thing entirely to hire a defensive coordinator that it looks like maybe that the schemes worked great against terrible quarterbacks and had no adjustments ready in the Super Bowl. That would concern the hell out of me.
If the Cardinals get to the Super Bowl, we might be in trouble.
Oh, no.
We'll cross that bridge.
You picking them this year?
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
I believe in Kyler. I'm one of the last standing.
Somebody whispered in my ear he might be the Kingsbury of defense.
Philly's unstoppable 4th and 1 push play. They went 5 for 5 on it this postseason. Turned punting situations into automatic first downs. Nick, you got a hot take here. You think this should be illegal. Why?
Well, it's not just that I think it should be. This rule is 1,000% eventually getting changed. It is an utter certainty this rule gets changed. Because the longer they allow it, the more teams will do it, the better teams will get at it, the smarter it will become, and football will look a way the league doesn't want it to look. If a team figures out how to get 4 yards on this,